Hey everyone, this is Simon here at Vida. Today we have a product introduction video and installation video all combined as one for the Hyundai Ioniq 5. So with me I have the box for the mud flaps. I'm going to go over the mud flaps in terms of directional guide and some installation tips. When you open the mud flaps, you're going to have on the interior two letters. You're going to have the letters for the first letter that represents either F or R. F being front, R being rear. The second letter represents the direction. R being right, L being left. So let me grab this set. Since I'm on the left side, I have a FL, which stands for front left, which will go here. And then I'll have a set that says front, meaning rear left, which will go on the back of the rear tire. Additionally, we designed these mud flaps exactly like OEM in terms of their screw locations. So these two, which is universal for all four mud flaps, goes to existing slots. However, the bottom, you may or may not have this hole. In the OEM version, they ask that the driver drill in a 1/16 hole and put in a screw. This adds stability. However, you are not required to do so. In this video, we're going to go ahead and install all three holes because we want 100% stability. Inside the kit, there's a directional paper that you'll see on your screen that tells you what to use for which mud flaps. And again, it will be showing on the screen exactly what tools you should be using. The kit also comes with the clip remover and also a screw. Now, preferably, using a power tool might make this a lot faster, but you can absolutely use the tool provided. We also include a combination of screws and push pins. Using your guide on the paper, it'll tell you exactly what to do and where to go. So we're going to go ahead and now focus on the installation. So now that you identify the locational pieces, we're going to go now installation tools and tips. So on the driver front side, it should be F and L, which stands for front left. You will see that I've turned my tires outward to allow for my installation to give as much clearance as possible. On the screen and in the directional guide, it does tell us that we are going to be using two push pins. Now, the existing push pins provided from your vehicle, you can simply remove by using the tool provided and going in between the top pins here and inserting it in between that and the bigger pin. And then you can pull out the thinner pin, and then once that is removed, then you can go ahead and target the larger pin. We're going to go ahead and show you an up-close video of what that consists of. So when installed, your current pin may look something like this. Although it may not have a screw, similar in concept. So what you're going to do is you're going to grab the tool included, and even though it's going to be inserted all the way through, your intention is to slide this tool in between. You should be able to, and then pull out the top. Once this top part is pulled out, then you can go back into the car and then bring this tool underneath here and then pull this out. And it should come off without too much tension. Once you have that done, you can insert the new mud flaps and then install these new clips that we provided. Again, it's much shorter in this top screw part. And technically, you don't really screw this in. I mean, you really just push pin it in. Now, to make this work, you push this through first, and then you insert this and push this further in to lock in that unit. Now that we have the top two push pins completed, let's focus on the bottom of the front mud flaps. As you can see, there is a screw at the very bottom that goes inside the only slot available with the mud flap. Your vehicle may or may not have this hole, and if you do not, this is where you will have to drill in a 1/16 hole, and it's 1/16 for the following reason, because we're going to be using our screw. We certainly don't want a larger hole size, otherwise it won't clamp in. But once you have it drilled, this is the screw that you'll be using. Although the paper instruction may give you guidance to screw in to the existing hole, reality is that there may not be an existing hole there. So that's why you will have to screw in this particular hole, which will provide you 100% stability for the front mud flaps. Let's go on to the rear mud flaps. Let's take a look at the rear mud flaps. The rear mud flaps on the left side should say RL, which stands for rear left. We're superimposed right now on the two screws. As highlighted, we're going to be using the existing screw that's already there. Just to get a closer look, we're talking about this screw here and this screw here. So once you go ahead and remove those screws, we're going to reinsert our new mud flaps and screw these in. Let's go ahead and focus on the bottom. So now we're looking at the rear mud flaps. So this is the rear left mud flaps. And as you can see, we use our push pin to access this hole. This particular hole should be present after you remove the existing clip. You do have one of two options. You can reuse the clip from the vehicle, it should work, or use our own clip. Our clip that we provide will work, but it may take a little bit more strength to push in. A tip that you may use is getting a screwdriver like this and just pushing it up when you're doing the clip. But that's just secure it, and again, this will stabilize the mud flaps. And in doing so, as you can see, it's not going to have any give whatsoever because it's now being held by the two screws and the clip on the bottom. Let's go ahead and take a look at the entire mud flap installation for all four sides.